Despite all the warnings and airstrikes on bandits, the terrorist group is still actively killing and kidnapping innocent Nigerians. They are not ready to drop their arms yet. Now, the US has sent another warning to Nigeria. This warning is very direct, and with what we are hearing, if Nigeria refuses to adhere to this warning and refuses to provide security for Nigerians, the results will be very devastating. Before we continue, subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any updates on this developing story. Just days back, bandits abducted 170 innocent worshippers during church service on Sunday. Until now, nothing has been heard about them. What makes this story very disturbing is the fact that Nigerian politicians and the Commissioner of Police of Kaduna earlier denied the news, saying it was a lie that nobody was kidnapped in the said location. Meanwhile, eyewitnesses were reporting that 170 Christian worshippers were kidnapped by these bandits. This kidnapped victim story went viral online, and as usual, it has drawn the attention of the US. And this time, the US is very clear. If the Nigeria government doesn't get involved and get all those 170 kidnapped victims back in peace, then they should be ready for the aftermath. According to the threats, the December 25th airstrike is a joke compared to what is going to happen in the coming days if the Nigerian government refuses to act in a manner that will lead to the freedom of the kidnapped victims. Very influential US politicians who believe that Christians are being killed in Nigeria are strongly sending warning messages that they are watching the Nigerian government. They are saying that if the Nigerian government refuses to act in the appropriate way, it will lead to devastation. This is not the first time the US has expressed concern about security in Nigeria, especially regarding attacks on Christians, but this warning is different. The tone is sharper, the language is stronger, and the threat of consequences is more direct than we have seen before. The US is making it clear that they are not just observing from a distance anymore. They are watching closely, they are counting the days, and they expect action. The implication is simple: rescue these victims or face serious consequences. What has made the US and the international community even more angry is the initial response from Nigerian authorities. When news of the kidnapping first broke, instead of immediately mobilizing security forces to rescue the victims, government officials and the Kaduna State Commissioner of Police came out to deny that any kidnapping had happened. They called it fake news. They said it was propaganda. They claimed that no worshippers were taken from any church in the area. This denial happened even as families of the victims were crying out for help, even as eyewitnesses were giving detailed accounts of how armed bandits stormed multiple churches and marched people away at gunpoint. This denial has damaged Nigeria's credibility on the international stage. How can the US or any other country trust the Nigerian government to handle a security crisis when they start by denying that the crisis even exists? How can rescue operations be organized when officials are claiming there is nothing to rescue? The denial also wasted precious time. In kidnapping cases, the first hours and days are critical. The longer victims remain in captivity, the harder it becomes to track them, negotiate their release, or mount a successful rescue operation. By denying the kidnapping, Nigerian authorities lost valuable time that could have been used to save lives. Relatives of the kidnapped victims are seen crying for help. Some have all their family among the kidnapped victims. Some have their wives, children, mothers, and sons among those taken. These people are left in a sorry state because now the government and army haven't said anything about this pressing problem. Imagine waking up one Sunday morning, going to church with your entire family to worship, and then armed bandits storm in and take everyone away. Your wife, your children, your parents all gone in an instant. You don't know where they are, you don't know if they are alive, you don't know if you will ever see them again. This is the reality that dozens of families in Kaduna are living right now. They are in agony, they are in fear, and they are in despair. Every day that passes without news is torture. Every day the government remains silent is another day of suffering. These families have tried everything. They have reported to the police, they have contacted government officials, they have cried out on social media, they have begged for help. They operate in remote forest areas that are hard to access. They are heavily armed and willing to kill hostages if security forces attack. Negotiating with them might save lives, but could also encourage more kidnappings in the future. The warning mentions that the December 25th airstrike is a joke compared to what is going to happen. This reference suggests that there was a previous airstrike, possibly by Nigerian forces or possibly by foreign forces, that targeted bandits or terrorists on Christmas Day. If that strike was considered a warning shot, then what the US is threatening now is something much bigger and more devastating. We are talking about sustained military operations, multiple strikes, perhaps even ground forces going in to rescue hostages and eliminate terrorist camps. The fact that the US is comparing their potential action to a previous strike and saying theirs will be much worse shows how serious they are. This is not an empty threat. This is not diplomatic posturing. The Nigerian government is running out of time. Every day that passes increases the risk to the kidnapped victims and increases the likelihood of US intervention. The government must act immediately and decisively. Security forces need to be deployed to locate and rescue the victims. Intelligence agencies need to gather information on where the bandits are holding them. Negotiations may need to happen to secure their safe release. And most importantly, the government needs to stop denying that the problem exists and start treating it with the urgency it deserves. The international community is watching, the US is watching, the families of the victims are watching, and time is running out. The kidnapping of 170 Christian worshippers in Kaduna has created an international crisis. The US has sent a direct warning to Nigeria: rescue these victims or face devastating consequences. President Tinubu is under enormous pressure to act before the situation spirals out of control. This is Nigeria News Update, and we will continue to follow this story closely and bring you updates as they develop. Now we want to hear from you. Do you believe the Nigerian government will be able to rescue the 170 kidnapped Christians before the US takes action? Share your thoughts in the comments. This is a critical moment for Nigeria's security and international reputation. And don't forget, if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button now and turn on notifications so you stay informed about this developing crisis.